Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is your girl Tysheen. I am back with another video. I didn't even know what I was gonna say. How you doing? How y'all feeling? I hope y'all doing great. Comment below. Let me know how y'all feeling. Where you from? You know, what part of the UK you from? Or it is. You don't even have to be from UK. I'm quite sure you're from someplace else. But let me know where you're from and how you feeling today. Okay, I do read comments, y'all. I do. Just that I don't have time to respond to everybody's comments because I get so much. And I don't have that much time because all I do is make videos, I edit videos, I have other channels, so I never had time to sit down and like talk to everyone, which I kind of miss because I remember when I had 300 subscribers and it was more easier to like go back and forth to talk to people, but now it's like it's hard. It's very, very hard. So yeah, so don't feel no type of way. You know, if you follow someone who has like millions of subscribers and they don't respond back, like that's a lot. That's a lot of people to talk to, you know, a lot of people. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to react to top 20 awful American remakes of great British TV show. Oh my God.
For this list, we're looking at all the times the US attempted and failed to replicate the glory of our top shows. While there have been some gems among the poop pile like The Office and Shameless, let this be your firm promise that no one does it quite like the Brits. Number 20, Red Dwarf.
I love Red Dwarf. Oh my God. So I know some of y'all probably wanted me to react to Red Dwarf, but I don't know if I want to. I mean, I could, but I already seen a couple of the episodes because my brother, some of y'all know, my brother, shout out to my brother Daniel. He's a big fan of British TV shows and like he's the one that introduced me to Red Dwarf. So I've been watching a couple of episodes with him. And I already seen a couple of episodes already. So it's like, I don't even know if I want to react to it because I already seen it. So it's like, I don't know. It wouldn't be it wouldn't come off genuine, you know? Like if I already know what's going to happen. I already, you know. So it's like, I don't know. This won't be the same because I already saw it already. But let's continue.
He evolved from cat, sir, just as your distant ancestors once swung from trees.
Ancestors? His grandparents swung from trees.
One of the greatest sci-fi series ever produced, let alone comedy series, Red Dwarf is British TV at its finest. The story of four very different men drifting in space, coming across all sorts of alien threats, combined some unforgettable gags with some genuinely heartfelt moments. The American remakes botched that balance. The only returning cast member was Robert Llewellyn as Crichton.
Must have made a wrong turn somewhere. You should have made a left at the last intersection, Crichton.
The rest...
I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but they changed him a lot. I think it was like 3 people. It's 3 people who played this character right here. It's 3 of them. I think one happened to the first one. I don't know what happened. I don't know the whole backstory. But I just know there's 3 different people playing this character right here. Playing this, yeah.
Were recast as Americans. The worst of which being Lister, it was just some traditionally handsome Hollywood-type bloke. That's not the bloody point of list. Number 19, AbFab. Yes, that is an abbreviation of Absolutely Fabulous, because apparently the original title just wasn't snappy enough. While the first attempt at this remake starred big names like Carrie Fisher and would have been produced by Roseanne Barr, that ultimately never saw its first day in production. Then there was the second attempt, which we have had the misfortune of actually viewing. The remake actually had some pretty good actresses too, in Kristen Johnston and Catherine.
I never heard of this show. That's why I'm just staring because I never heard of this show.
But they simply didn't have any chemistry whatsoever. Only 3 minutes of this episode have surfaced, and trust us, it's not worth it. Number 18, Top Gear USA. When we say Top Gear, what's the first thing that pops into your head? The trio of Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May, right? Well, don't expect them here. Somehow, the show actually lasted 6 whole seasons, and was praised by the original trio, but in the end, it was viewer interest that couldn't be maintained, and the show was cancelled in 2016. You know you're doing something wrong when present-day Top Gear looks like top-tier television when compared to this. Number 17, Trigger Happy TV. Many will remember this short outdoor prank show for dumb jollies screaming on a giant Nokia phone. Just hearing that old ringtone will give people flashbacks to this day. But the rest of the show was actually damn good too, with Jolly taking on a variety of roles to prank the public. Unfortunately, when it hit stateside, Jolly wasn't the only cast member taking to the streets.
I know she must have given some of them people almost like a heart attack, because I would have been like what the hell?
American comedians performed their skits and just didn't hold the same spirit as Dom's, who even expressed himself that he disliked the series. Number 16, Free Agent. Not the biggest show to come out of the UK, but definitely one that caught some attention. Free Agents was a black comedy that revolved around the mishaps at a talent agency.
I know that actor. I see him somewhere.
It was short.
I'm sorry, y'all. Half of these shows I never heard of.
And sweet, but not quite
Never
as
heard of
short
these
as
shows.
its American counterpart. Free Agents USA changed the setting of the original and only had one returning cast member. This was clearly a poor move, as the series only lasted on NBC for 4 episodes.
4 episodes? Damn.
Before being thrown onto the streaming service Hulu, where its last 4 would appear. Number 15, Spaced.
Space, really? They try to be like the British TV show Space.
You probably instantly convulse. But no one hated the idea quite as much as the man behind the series himself, Edgar Wright. Wright was apparently opposed to the project the moment it was even suggested, but the production company went through with it without even telling him. What's worse, they actually still credited him and Simon Pegg as working on the series. At the end of the day, American characters reenacting scenes from American movies just didn't have the same humour as when Down and Out do it, and the show never survived.
Yeah, we should leave remakes alone. Let's not do no remakes, okay? Let's leave certain shows alone.
Number 14, Men Behaving Badly. While not the worst remake America has to offer, it was unfortunately unable to get over with the American audience. The original of this series starred British staples Martin Clunes and Harry Enfield, and was constantly pushing the extent of political incorrectness on television. This was met with adoration from the British public, but when the Americans tried this in a similar vein, audiences were appalled. The family-friendly nature of more popular shows wasn't present here, and with Rob Schneider, yep, that Rob Schneider, taking the main role in the height of his fame, not even that could save the series from cancellation. Number 13, Us and Them. You might see this title
I know
and think,
her.
what the bloody hell is Us and Them? Well, sadly, this was what happened when the US tried to adapt the comfy tale of every folk, Gavin and Stacey. But you can't exactly...
I didn't even hear what he said, but I was like, this show remind me a little bit of Gabby and Stacey a little bit. It's so funny that he said it. I was thinking of it. But really? Like, come on, America. Come on. Let's just leave British TV shows alone.
recreate a love story between a couple from
Let's
Wales
leave
and
it
England,
alone.
respectively, so they just ditched that entire part. Funnily enough, the 2 main characters still kept the names of Gavin and Stacey, which really begs the question as to why the hell they went with this bland-ass title in the first place if they were just leeching off the success of their British counterparts. Who knows? Number 12, Cracker. Okay, so you've gotten the idea so far that British comedy just doesn't translate well into the American formats. But what about some Hard Knocks drama? Well, that's hardly better too, sadly. The tale of a Glaswegian criminal psychologist solving crimes in Manchester was stripped of its setting and lead, turning it into pretty much your standard American crime drama fare that you could find on any other channel. This one is proof that you just can't replicate the badass that is Robbie Coltrane. Number 11, Peep Show. When you think of
Peep
cringe-based
Show?
British comedies, chances are your mind immediately
Peep Show?
jumps to David Mitchell and Robert Webb's classic series, Peep Show. But sadly, when Americans got their hands on it, it became an entirely different kind of cringe. The bad kind. This pilot episode, which was produced by 20th Century Fox, is downright painful to watch all about. Thank God Superhands got out unscathed. Number 10, Life on Mars. Initially,
the
Life
Twin
on
Tower.
Mars looked to be making a name for itself on American shores. It was a respectable nod to the BBC classic, remade with energy and passion, and featured great acting, production values, and music. And then, that ending happened. Seriously, what on Mars was that about? Whereas the original had the amazing and bittersweet ending of Sam killing himself to return to 1973, this one featured Sam and the group as astronauts on the first manned mission to Mars, and the 1973 scenes were just a simulation. It was absolutely insulting and tarnished the name of the fantastic original. Number 9, oh no, not them. Ferocious title is really
A lot of
all
these
you need
shows
to
I
know
don't know.
about this abomination. This series was set to be a remake of The Young Ones, a classic 80s sitcom that was renowned for its subversive humour. 6
Is
years
this-
after its ending, Fox attempted to Americanize it with terrible...
Wait, is this the same show that I react to? Is this show called... What's the show called? Is it Yes? Life on Mars? Or is it called Life on Mars?
results. Nigel Planner, one of the original actors, was set to star in the remake, but he had an awful time in America and didn't get along well with his co-stars, which made for a troubling
yes.
production.
I did react to this
The
show.
pilot was apparently
I think I
awful
did,
enough
yeah.
that Fox scrapped the series before it could air, leaving the unseen episode a thing of legend. Number 8, Cold Feet. A comedy drama detailing the ebbs and flows of love, Cold Feet was a huge success for ITV, lasting 6 years and garnering huge amounts of critical praise. Then, there's the American remake. A show apparently so forgettable, its existence seems to have been wiped from the internet. The US version follows the same principle as the original, only in Seattle. It was apparently watchable, not that we can prove this due to the lack of media, but even so, it failed spectacularly to obtain and hold viewers. Granted, it aired Fridays at 10 PM, but one episode gave NBC its worst Friday night ratings ever, so Cold Feet was quickly binned after only 4 episodes had transmitted.
Shit.
Number 7, Viva Laughlin. Viva Laughlin was an ambitious but ultimately failed remake of Blackpool, the popular musical comedy drama mashup about a murder in an arcade. With a strong foundational story, and behind-the-scenes players like the original's creator, Peter Bowker, and executive producer Hugh Jackman, Viva
Jackman.
Laughlin should have been decent, but it wasn't even good enough to be bad. Upon release, the show was absolutely ridiculed, with the New York Times calling it the worst show in the history of television. Harsh, yet warranted. It was therefore cancelled after 2 episodes due to abysmal ratings.
Damn.
Also harsh, yet also warranted.
She's smoking, bro. I am so gonna tap that.
Number 6, Pain.
Are they trying to be like... Okay, let me think before he even say anything. Are they trying to be like Faulty Tower? Don't say it. Please tell me that... No, I know the guy here. I know this actor here, but...
Rule
Wait.
1 of adapting British shows. Do not, and we mean do not, touch Faulty Towers.
Do not touch Yes, do not... Don't... Are you crazy? No one, I mean no one on this earth should be remaking Faulty Towers. No one, okay? We don't want no remake. We don't want no. Leave certain classic TV shows alone. Okay, they're classic. All right, we don't want nobody ruin it. Okay, just leave it alone. Do not touch it. Okay, you can look at it. You can look at it, but don't touch it. Okay.
Unfortunately, no one was
Hell
there
no.
to enforce this rule in 1999, so CBS went and touched Faulty Towers inappropriately and made it into Pain. While it had the same basic premise as the John Cleese classic, it made two notable changes, those being a shift in location from Devon to California and a notable absence of jokes. While it was endorsed by Cleese himself, he was in the minority, which meant the show was canned after 8 episodes, leading one film
Only 8 episodes, cause it's trash.
episode to remain untransmitted.
No.
Get over it.
Number 5, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Before
I've
the
heard
2005
Doctor Who.
revival that brought Doctor Who back to the public's consciousness and hearts, there was this made-for-TV
But I don't think I
movie,
ever watched
which
it.
was supposed to be
I never watched this show, but I've heard of it.
hugely successful and launch an American version of the show. It wasn't, and it didn't. Broadcast on Fox, this movie served as a continuation of the story, with the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, passing the baton to Paul McGann. Although it was well received in the UK, it was a ratings disappointment in America, and the hopes of a new American version of Doctor Who were quickly squashed. Number 4, Coupling. Coming from eventual Doctor Who and Sherlock showrunner Stephen Moffat, the UK version of Coupling was a brilliant comedy that centered around a group of mates and was respectably compared to both Seinfeld and Friends. Meant to serve as the replacement for the latter, NBC commissioned 13 episodes of an American remake, but some awful acting and constant network interference caused this version to be embarrassingly inferior to the original, and it was instantly labelled a massive creative failure. It was quickly cancelled after 4 episodes went in.
4 episodes? Damn! That was a whole waste of time.
out, and the rest have been presumably taken out back and muffled with a pillow. Number 3, the IT Crowd.
Yes. This is one of my favorite British TV shows. Yes, I've watched a couple of episodes of the I call it the It Crowd, but it was called the IT Crowd. It was don't make fun of me. But yeah, this show, oh my god. I watched a couple of episodes with my brother again, of course. Yeah, I know my brother. He's the one introduced me to a lot of these British TV shows. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know half of these TV shows. But this show is funny.
Similar to The Big Bang Theory, only arguably actually funny, the IT Crowd is a shining beacon in nerd culture and follows a pair of
So this guy here, he went and did the American version?
nerds in a fictional
The actor
company's
here,
IT department. Due to its success in the UK, NBC ordered an American remake, but like most of their remake attempts, it was a spectacular failure. A pilot was filmed and numerous scripts were written, with Richard Ayoade returning as Moss and Joel McHale portraying Roy. However, even NBC knew that they had a dud on their hands after watching the pilots and promptly ordered the series cancelled before it even began.
And he agreed to do this? I mean, they probably offered him a lot of money. Because... no.
Number 2, The Inbetweeners. The Inbetweeners.
I know that guy. That man right there. He's from, what's that show that I love to watch? The Stranger Things. He's from Stranger Things. And he also was another TV show that I like. But they had their own In-Betweeners. And I never knew. Half of this stuff I didn't even know. I didn't know. I mean, they didn't last. So obviously, I probably wouldn't even know any of it. They didn't last. But
Was an instant classic that perfectly captured the feelings of adolescence, with eerily realistic dialogue throughout. The remake, meanwhile, was made for MTV. That tells you all you need to know. It was typical teenage fare, despite a talented writer and showrunner in Brad Copeland of Arrested Development fame. It was quickly panned for being cliché, nothing at all like the original, and for just generally being awful. MTV ultimately cancelled the series after 12 episodes due to its low ratings in 20...
low, of course it's gonna have low rate because it's stupid. I'm sorry. If someone told me that they're making American In-Betweeners, I'd be like, save your money. Save your money and your time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Number 1, Skins.
But
like In-Betweeners, only much darker, more depressing, and not as funny. Skins was a huge success, in part due to its challenging subject matter, like mental illness in teens and drug abuse. And here comes MTV moseying its way in again. While the show wasn't completely unwatchable, it was...
I'm laughing because I have that same, it's not the same exact radio, but I have that radio right there. I have it in my kitchen. It's so old, but it's still working though. Not complaining, it still works, okay? But I have that same radio. The buttons are a little different, but I have the cassette, and it is the same shape and everything. And I always have it on the 80s station, because I love 80s music. I don't like music today, but yeah.
was much tamer in
Not just 80s songs, but like 80s and 90s songs. I stick to that.
comparison to its UK counterparts, and as a result, was not nearly as powerful. It also quickly drew controversy due to its questionable sexual content involving underage teenage actors, leaving many advertisers to pull their support for the show, which, with the mediocre critical response, led to the series being cancelled after one season. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I gotta stretch. That's why I don't like to do long videos sometimes, because sitting down too long. I'm gonna have to exercise when I'm finished. But anyway, let's just leave British TV shows alone, y'all. Dear Americans, please leave British TV shows alone, okay? Let's make our own TV show. Now, he mentioned earlier about what's that show? Shameless. That's the only show that I'm gonna let it slide, because I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me, but I love the American Shameless. Okay, I'm sorry. I know some of y'all might disagree, but I'm sorry. I love the American Shameless. I try to watch the British Shameless, and it was very hard for me to get into. Maybe because, you know, as American, I see certain things I can't really, I don't know. Maybe I can't really relate to, I guess, because, you know, of course, I'm American, so I don't know. But I like American Shameless. I love that show so much. I was so mad how the way it ended. I didn't like how the way it ended. You know, and I hate the fact that Fiona, she had left, and ever since she left, the show has just went downhill. So, yeah. But that was a good show. But anyway, comment below. Let me know how y'all feel about this video, and I will see you lovely people. Take care, and peace.